there, I tell everybody to go out there and look at them, check them out. We're not endorsing any of this.
Well, basically with Toby, just to reiterate, you know, when Toby and I walked the show floor at SEMA to highlight this presentation, you know, we just thought that we had some new products to show shop owners what they could do to increase their productivity, do a better job. That would be the main focus of this presentation. So we got quite a few tools that are pretty neat, and I had the opportunity to test out, like Toby said, the majority of them.
The first tool we have is what they call a shunt pliers. I know I set a number of ICAR classes where we did welding, and they said use the shunt pliers. You are spot welding. Your arms are aluminum or copper, and the electricity is flowing in a path through the arms. When you put a item, metal, steel, in between it, the flow stops. The resistance builds up and it releases itself in the form of heat. Everything's fine. Now, if we put in some sort of barrier between the two pieces of metal, let's say it is either adhesives or E-coat, there's no electricity flowing through them. So what we have is a shunt plier, and if you take a look at the diagram, what happens is the electricity goes through, hits the metal, goes around the pliers, and comes back through. Once that circuit is complete, the heat forms at that spot weld. So this is a very unique piece for the first weld when you are weld bonding, or if you have a manufacturer that says when you do spot welding, we want you to just leave the E-coat on there. The problem with the regular pliers is that the area is real small and it builds up a lot of heat and resistance. When Marge and I did a spot welding test, we actually blew the pliers apart from it. Through Dead Fix, I use this when I do work on a quarter panel. I grind the spot welds off to remove it. It's just a faster way of doing it. If you have an SPR rivet, you can use this to grind the head and then punch it out if you didn't have the proper tool with a punch it with your...
They call it a goop scoop. And basically what it is a, I don't know if there's any painters in here or even if you've done any stuff at home, basically when you take a wooden stirring stick and you attempt to stir or mix something, you always have a problem getting all of it on the bottom and the top. Well, this allows you to basically scrape and get every last bit of whether polyester filler, you know, Bondo as they call it, or if you're a painter and you mix paint, it does a fantastic job. It comes in two sizes for pint and gallon size. Very inexpensive. It comes in a pack of 10. We also came across this little color matching card. It is made by Shiners. And basically what you can do is a big problem with color matching is once you do your spray out card is when you go to clear coat it, obviously sometimes destroys that card and you have to start over. Well, they give you these little clear plastic covers that you can clip right over your color match.
Is that you take your paint, you spray your color on. When the circles and the black are totally disappeared, take this out, then you put it up to your car with a clear coat over the top.
By Spray Max, basically they offer a lot of different products. This is a 2K epoxy primer. I think the biggest issues a lot of shops have is that you get something going on where it needs to be epoxy coated and your painter has to mix up, you know, a total batch to do a small area, whether it be a pinch weld or you know, just the riveting areas. Catalyst inside the aerosol, and basically how it works is that you pop the cap, the red cap, you turn the can upside down, put the red cap on the bottom. Push the red cap down and it basically penetrates the catalyst, and then you shake this and it basically mixes the epoxy primer, and then you go ahead and you can do your coatings. And what's neat about this particular product, depending on the temperature, it has a 4-day hot life.
Items from Reliable. These are gap gauges. With more and more of your panels being glued on and riveted on, you need some way of determining the proper gaps. These here are plastic gaps that go all the way up to 6 millimeters. And these have little suction cups, and then you can determine the thickness by using the gaps here and measure your gaps on your vehicle. And there's three come in a little package, so it allows you to do a door to a quarter panel or a hood to a fender. Very unique and must be in your toolbox. This is a magnetic work light. Oh yeah, we've all seen it. What's so unique about this? This is from Denfix. Is that watch? Ooh, the only one on the market that is extremely bright. And here's the other part about it: you can charge off your computer, USB port. Great little light.
Glass remover tool from our WRD, which was unique about this product was the fact that the cutting mechanism was nylon. So basically, we do a lot of composite, repair vehicles, and the biggest problem we have cutting that bond path is nicking a composite. It was available, it was made in Canada, and basically I went ahead and ordered it, and we brought it into the shop, and the other unique thing we found out that they didn't disclose was the fact that if anybody uses the stainless steel cutting wire, usually that's a one-time use. This particular nylon that you guys can come up later, we've used.
How long does that nylon last?
Well, the one that's on the spool, we've done 4 back glasses with. And what happens with Nixon is those little plastic locating tabs. Usually that's what frays it.
Yeah.
And Infratech came out with a very similar type of card. And what it is basically, metamerism is basically your eye has 3 color receptacles. And it basically defines certain wavelengths in color. And during the intersection of these wavelengths, the perfect color match, comes about when these wavelengths intersect. Well, these particular colors, if you look real close, in certain lighting, if you can define a difference in the color, it's not true sunlight, 5,000 degree Fahrenheit. So what this card allows you to do is during your color matching of vehicles, you can walk outside, you can hold it out and see what the perfect time of day is to color match.
The Ford F-150, that's the aluminum bodied vehicle, has a door skin that is replaceable. If you don't go through training, here's what's going to happen. You're going to get a technician who's going to take that hammer and beat it down here. Now, what I did was that I beat it down, I put some die check on it, and you can notice up here, I'll pass this around, that it's red, it's all cracked. What we want to do is create what is known as a roll chem flange. And speak came out with a tool. Now, it's a 2-step tool. You're going to put it, start on at the first angle, and fold it over slightly, then you come back in at another angle, and it creates the hem flange. This is from Denfix. We're all familiar with these 8mm holes. Now, Honda just came out with a program, iCars came out with a big welding bracing program when they tell you to put 3 of these 8mm holes right next to each other, take a die grinder and cut them out. Then Fix came out with a slot cutter. And there is an 8x20 slot for using for MIG weld bracing. Like I said, it's from Collision Edge. We have tape measure. This is called their blending stick. If you have some repairs down here, let's say, this area, it goes here, you're going to have to blend where you're going to blend to. This gives you a good idea. It allows you to take a picture. You can say, give this to the insurance carrier and say, hey, this is what we have. They also have a ruler for various measuring. Takes them the foam pulls away. You can see it out there. But the nice part, the unique thing, is this little board. It's a little bit hard to see, but if you take a light source and you look at the panel here, you can see the distortion. It gives you a real good idea when you upload your pictures where the damage is, especially on the little darker parts.
How many times have you had a door dent? And the appraiser comes in and gives you a couple hours on a dent, and then your technician comes back. By the time he's done, the dent is 5 times its size. So what this allows you to do during the estimating and negotiation process is you can actually see the reflection of how big that dent actually is. Very helpful tool. It does 2 different types of grid colors, or light and dark color cards. They've just developed so that different paint departments, body department, detail department, can purchase something like this and organize your tools. Basically, the box you can buy at your local tool truck or Home Depot. They're usually a standard size. Time Shaver sells you the basic aluminum structure, and then you can build these brackets to according to what you may need. Neat little things about it. You got on this particular one set up for the body shop department. Got your sandpapers, your hardeners, your putties. Here's a little waste basket. Also has all these drawers that you can label yourself, but you can put your respirators, all your dust masks, and your sanders. So it's all centrally located. You can kind of move it around your shop. Real neat deal. It has an area behind it also that you can put more items like cotton guns and things like that. So it's just kind of a neat product that you can basically move around your shop.
It is a borescope made by Whistler. Like you've seen the typical borescopes. Why is this so unique? Well, first off is that I can come up with an extension cord, where most of the ones that you see that only go this far, this thing will go another 4 feet. I used this the other day for a customer. I videotaped it. There's you can videotape it right here. You can download it to your computer. You can watch it on a computer. If I'm inspecting it here, looking at these welds, I can notice where the damage is. I can sit there and see penetration on this weld up in here. If I wanted to spray some material up there to see for coating, let's say I was putting some cavity wax up in there, I could check it. Another nice feature about it, and Kai uses one, looks for inside reinforcements. And I'm talking about the reinforcement inside a rail. How do you know that they haven't come loose, especially on the Teslas where they have these inner reinforcements and they get hit and you have no way of documenting it, and it's very hard to see until you cut it open. Well, here's a perfect way. You just go in there, photograph it, download it to your estimate, have a video on it, you can ship it out, do all kinds of things with it.
Another interesting point too, on some of these rails now that the front suspension subframes mount into, the little nut captures inside the rails. Sometimes the cars get hit so hard that the bolt actually gets, bent, but also the catcher. So sometimes you put down to replace the bolt, then as the car gets ready to be finished, you put the bolt up in there and you find out that you have an issue. So this allows you to look at that capture also.
Right.
Can you take still photos as well as video, or just video?
Both. It takes a still picture, or it takes a video. You can videotape it. Like I said, guys, if you add from an estimating tool, but think about also as a post-inspection tool. Where are those welds proper? When I used this is that I had a carrier was questioning if we glued or welded the cell panel on a BMW, and up there we went with it, and you could see it was glued in. So it saved a lot of time and effort. One of the best things on the market is that I used one when I was an investigator with an insurance carrier, and this is by far the superior. This little jobby. This is an OSHA approved, compliant, air blower. Most of these guys will take the two fittings, put it in their pocket. Huge OSHA fine, because the regulations say you have to have 30 pounds of pressure and that's it. And the ones that screw, well, you can open those up wide awake, and these here are compliant, and man, do they work. Again, this is from DentFix, fits in your pocket. So
here's another also OSHA compliant air blower Prebos. So this unit also has the same 30-pound pressure. Here's another interesting product that that we found. This is a high build primer aerosol. A lot of times, during the prep stage, you have a little cut through, or you find a small little dent, and you got to get that car painted. A lot of times, a lot of the primers that are available, a lot of technicians shy away from them because they're so solvent rich that it pulls the repair areas out, and you don't really have the time to do the repair. Well, this product's made by Kent, and we tried it. It's a high build primer. It actually, basically can give you a couple extra mils versus your normal. This particular lamp is made by Infratech. It's a shortwave lamp. And in the band, you have UV, short wave, medium wave, and long wave. A lot of the infrared technology that we have in the shops are medium wave. This is just another alternative. It gives you a little bit more heat. It does a couple of different things.
Yeah, short wave will go through the paint, through the fillers, and heat up the metal. So what's going to happen is it's going to heat up the backside and work its way to the front. This will be dry and sandable within about 10 minutes. Again, a small little portable. Look, we're here in a room here. We had a little spot repair. We came over here, did it. I mean, think of the production, how fast you can move a car through the facility. You're not cheating anybody. You're just using technology that is available to you to push these cars a little bit faster, reduce your cycle time. Like I said, this thing here, it's portable. You can see no particular excess wiring, and probably a little bit too far away, but bumpers or something when you have a small spot repair, beautiful piece of equipment.